Welcome back to the second part of my game Huschenbeth against Gustafsson, and we just left this position where I played knight from b1 to c3, and Black is quite facing a difficult task here, how to proceed. And I was still in the middle of my opening preparation, and it's so unpleasant for Black to play. And he played a mistake here. After the next move, his position more or less becomes hopeless. He played queen to d6, and we can have a look at some beautiful lines here, which are possible. So what about knight b3? This looks quite like a good move, exploiting the fact that this pawn is pinned. But bishop takes b5, bishop d7, and now just ignoring everything on the queen side, just castling away and bringing this rook into play. For example, knight takes a1, knight takes e4, also giving up this bishop, but rook e1, and unbelievably, there's no defense against these threats here in the center. It's just all the pieces, queen, knight, rook, bishop, are all working together to mate Black's king. And king d7, queen g4 doesn't help either. And well, there's just no defense, like crazy. And in this position, knight to c2 is followed with bishop g5, and now bishop takes g5, queen e5 check, queen e7, queen takes h8, queen f8, bishop takes d7, king takes d7, and queen b2. And both pieces are hanging. I will regain one of those pieces and then just have a position with a pawn up. Yeah, well, it's just working out perfectly for white. It's just working out perfectly. And in this position, instead of knight takes a1, what if Black plays bishop takes b5? Then knight takes b5, knight takes a1, knight takes c7, and Black is down. Black is up a whole rook now, but well, he's losing the rook on a8, and even though the material is reduced from white, he still is having enough attacking potential here, and he's having an excellent attack. And also in some lines, obviously this knight might be also lost for Black, and then he wouldn't be even up any material anymore. Okay, let's return to this position. Which other options does Black have? Maybe b4, but then knight b5 once again, and again white is developing a crushing attack here. Rook g8, queen h4 check, king d7, queen f4, very strong move, and threatening to take on f7, and queen e7 now just taking the rook. And white regained the material, and still his attack is ongoing. Maybe practically speaking, the best chance was to play queen to e7 here, and the bishop takes b5, bishop d7, castle, long castle. It's not too bad here for Black. It's not too bad. Rook b1, bishop takes b5, queen takes b5, knight c4. White is better, obviously, but it's far from over here, definitely. And another option which was also playable was to play c6, which is actually quite a natural move, just to take out all these ideas of knight takes b5, to just take them out of the game. Now castle, but still the Black position remains difficult. Queen e7, bishop f4, bishop h4, bishop e3, castle d6, queen e6, and knight takes e4, and white is having a beautiful pawn here on d6, and also still the Black king is not safe. So white is better here as well. Let's have a look at the game. Finally, you might say, after looking at so many variations, but I thought they're quite interesting to see and quite beautiful at times too. Queen d6. And of course I'm not exchanging queens with the Black king so weak, so the move which is quite natural to play is here bishop f4. And I thought that his idea might be to give the queen here with queen takes f4, and maybe he should do this, maybe it's the best practical chance, but objectively speaking it's lost for black as well. So I have a little Zwischenzug here. Bishop takes b5 first. So I can move with my king to e2 when he takes on c3. c6, queen takes f4, bishop takes c3, and now king e2. And well, for example, c takes b5. Well, now black is having three pieces against the queen, which is material-wise fine, but still his king is under attack, and it's not going out well here for black, because here I have this little trick and winning material, and this is winning for white. So maybe castle here, and now rook ac1, bishop g7, bishop a4, c takes d5, and there's still some work here for me. Black is having two minor pieces plus a pawn. Well, it's not a lot, but still I still have to do some work here. But well, obviously that should be winning for white. But in the game, black simply gets crushed. There's no hope whatsoever, really. Queen b4. And now bishop e5. Just makes sense to take this bishop off the board, and black was already weak on the black squares, but now without the bishop he will be even weaker. Queen e7. Obviously black cannot take, because then just this rook would be lost. So queen e7, bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, and now simply just castling. And these pawns are hanging, and what is even more important is still this king in the center, and just not finding a safe place. Just not finding any way to put his queen, to put his king. Bishop d7, knight takes e4, queen d4, and now queen f4, and black would be able to castle both ways now, but he can't. Because in either way I would win his queen. Short castle, knight f6, and long castle, knight d6. So that doesn't work for black. So he played king d8, which is quite a sad move, but there's just nothing better for black. Well, the position plays itself pretty much, just bringing out pieces into the game. Rook ac1 attacking c7. I expected rook c8, but now I can just play queen g5, f6, knight takes f6, and everything falls apart, obviously. So he played knight c4, but that's just not working as well. And I just had to calculate some lines, but then it's pretty obvious that it's just losing. Bishop takes, b takes c4, and rook takes c4, and I've mentioned it, black is so weak on the black squares. Queen takes c4, queen f6, king e8. And now it looks tempting to just take both rooks, and of course white is winning, but I spotted an even better move, to bring the last piece into the attack by playing rook e1. And there's simply no defense whatsoever. I'm threatening this double check on d6 followed by mate. And quite a nice gesture here by my opponent Jan Gustafsson. After this quite nice game of mine, he allowed me to checkmate him with a double check. He played rook f8, and he allowed knight d6, mating him. And I think it's quite a nice gesture by him to allow me to finish this strong game of mine in such a manner. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this game, and if you have any questions, any comments, then just post them down there, and if you like to support me, I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, and you can watch more of my videos in the future if you like them, only then of course. Alright, see you soon, bye.